What do you think? Am I gonna be able to film here? He might just sit off camera the whole time, just staring at me. Hi everybody, this is Jillian coming to you from the True North Life Homestead, and I was gonna take you guys outside for something a little bit different. Our greenhouse, how it was built and where we're gonna set it up and everything like that as we start to move our plants outside. But right now it's in our garage, but the weather had other ideas. It was sunny 20 minutes ago. So we're inside today for a little bit, and I wanted to go over a couple of just little things that I've been seeing happen online. So let's get into that. So if you look everywhere right now, I'm super excited to see this happening because I've been waiting all winter. I am so happy. It's sprouting season. If you go anywhere right now, all you're gonna see is starting your seeds, how to do it right, how to get away from leggy seedlings and all that kind of super awesome stuff that I love to see coming up, because it means that people are getting ready to be in their garden. And that is one of my favorite places to be. So before I got into all that stuff that everybody else is doing, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about some of the cool things that we've been able to grow and why you should even listen to me try and attempt to do this stuff in our garden this year is the plants behind me. Before we got into this year's plants, I wanted to get into a couple of things that we've done in the past so that you guys can see that, yeah, I can actually grow something. It took a long time to get there, not gonna lie. Lots of learning involved, lots of talks with my dad because he's a lot better at gardening than I am, but we're getting there, slowly but surely. I've got a couple of really cool things that I cannot wait to show you guys, and I cannot wait to get in the garden. And behind me are some of the things that we did last year, which is super cool. So in the little pots behind me, I have some things that I'm going to show you. These guys right here. I don't really like these plants, but they are edible. If anybody can guess what they are, go ahead and leave a comment in the description before I get to what I'm actually going to tell you they are. Or the big plant up here, if you know what that is, we're in Canada. It's pretty cool that that thing is actually growing. My cat is eating the plants while I'm trying to record this video. Just a little disclaimer for everybody, I have house pets, and because we're recording inside today and I am sitting on the floor, I already had to kick my dog away because he was being a bit of a pest, and the cat is now trying to eat the plants, so you'll probably see them come in and out. I have a Shiba Inu, his name is Dash. The cat's name is Nova, or Katsanova if you want to be formal, and she is a Bengal. And we also have fish, and I'm sure you'll hear I have a parrot as well who's in his room. Every once in a while you might hear him, especially because it's really windy out today. You might hear that as well. I apologize. That's the reason why we're inside, not outside today. But things happen on the homestead, both indoors and outside. It all comes together in the end, which is kind of cool. So these plants right here that I'll tell you about, this one is super cool. Can you see what that is? It's even turning red right now. This is a Thai chili plant. It is over a year old. I am going to be planting this in our garden this year out of its pot. I actually wasn't prepared for the amount that I was sprouting last year, so this I actually grew from a seed, and this is its second year, which is super cool. Again, in Canada, it is cold outside. If you guys were somewhere where it's nice all the time and these things can go out into the garden all year round, you don't really have to worry about them, they'll just go dormant. That's not the case where we are. So if we put them outside, they'd be dead. Like, they would have been frozen to the core and there would have been no getting them back. But because we were able to keep these guys inside under a grow light, and we're able to keep them nice and warm all year round, these guys are our first producers this year, which is super cool. It's a hot pepper. It is April in Canada, and I'm gonna get fresh hot peppers. That's gonna be my first plant. Oh, it's kind of neat. This is the second one that I wanted to show you guys. This is kind of a mixed variety. This is also being grown in a pot all year round, but these guys are a variety plant. So one of them is a habanero mix and the other one is a hot salsa blend. So you get a couple of different peppers on the same plant, which is really cool. So we were able to take peppers off of this last year and we were able to make our own hot True North Life hot salsa, which is super cool. We also made a True North killer salsa because we also grew ghost peppers and Carolina Reapers because Kevin loves spice. I am not a spicy person. I am starting to kind of get into it a little bit more because of some of the things that he's introduced me to. He does a really awesome secret family recipe that's hot Italian spaghetti. Hottest thing I've ever eaten. The only thing I've ever actually wanted to have again with that burning sensation in my mouth. It's so good and it's so hot, but it's the only thing I've ever been able to actually enjoy. But I'm getting more used to these guys, so I'm actually really excited that we're gonna have them on the property and that we can keep them around for years. This is super cool. So we planted these guys as seedlings. We screwed them underneath our grow light. Most of them went out into the garden last year. We had raised garden beds for them. We got so many plants off of them. If you follow us on Instagram, you'll see bins and bins and bins of these peppers we were able to get off these plants. And we're still getting them. Do you guys see that right there? I honestly can't even tell you what kind of pepper that is because I cannot remember the variety of plant that this is. I think it's a jalapeno, which is pretty cool. Very useful. So you can see where I trimmed these guys back after last year. I should have cut them down a little bit more. The stalk survived obviously and is growing. So good. But you can also see that there are still flowers coming in on this. So we are expecting these guys to give us more peppers in the next couple of weeks, which is super cool. I'm gonna say that so many times in this video because this is just super exciting for me. I thought we'd pop into the kitchen for a second and I can show you guys some of the cool things that we've been able to do with our hot pepper plants. So this is our salsa. There's cilantro in there, there's a couple of hot peppers, there's tomatoes and all that we are gonna be able to get out of our garden this year. Last year we store-bought them. And we also dehydrate them, which is super cool. And we also do infused oils with them. So we got a spicy oil, we also do savory oil, and a lot of this stuff goes into our cookings. I made the mistake the other day. I shook one, I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. So I split one of the hot peppers open and I was messing around with the seeds and stuff like that. And then I was talking with my friends and I went like this and I was sitting there just having a great time. And you know, all of a sudden on the chat we were on, I was like, why is my, oh, that is spicy. What is happening? I couldn't figure out what was happening to me because I didn't remember that I was messing around with the seeds in here, which is where all the capsaicin is, which is why I had spicy lips. This plant right here is our avocado tree. This was grown from a pit from a store-bought avocado. It is 2.5 years old now. We actually brought it over in the middle of December when it was still just a sapling from our old house. It was the most terrifying drive I think I've ever had to do. I was standing there with the avocado in the water still with all of its nice roots and I was just watching it wilt because it was so cold in the car still. We probably should have warmed it up quite a bit first. But even the walk just from the front of the house into the car was enough to just make that plant over the hour drive. Just it was heartbreaking to be able to see that happen. I also had our fish in that load. It was like a super intense, crazy move load that we did all at once. So I'm sitting here trying to listen for my fish still moving around in the back and my avocado is wilting in front of me and it's a storm outside. I'm sure Kevin wanted to be nowhere near me at this point, but we were stuck in a small vehicle together with all of our stuff. But we made it, and it made it. So we're all here now, which is great. So when we first planted this guy, he was only about this tall, and obviously he's grown quite a bit since then. So we had looked online a bunch of times and seen a lot of people being able to sprout these avocados. I'm not a huge fan of avocados, but we're not gonna get that much from an indoor planted tree. It's Canada, it's cold outside. This guy is gonna have to stay into a tree pot its entire life. He does go outside for the summertime, so he does get that all around experience when it is nice enough for him to be out there. But right now, it's still going about 0 degrees at night. It's way too cold for an avocado, especially one that's supposedly been grown in Southern California. When was the last time it hit 0 degrees, you know, negative temperatures? It's a little bit more intense. I have to take this, sorry, bone. All right, hopefully that'll keep him out of the way. I totally forget what I was saying. He's too adorable. Nope, it's gone. I've seen a lot of places that a lot of people are trying to grow these avocados in their house. And we thought, hey, you know, we're still waiting to be able to go to our homestead when we were at our old house. And we're like, let's try and grow a couple of things. We had our little herb gardens going. We had a couple of little beds in the backyard that we started working with. But this guy was pretty cool because a lot of the time you hear that people weren't able to do it. It was really hard. It was really difficult. So I ended up writing out every single step of the way that we did on our blog so that if you guys want to grow your own, you guys can go check it out there. I will link it down in the description below. But we probably won't see any fruit off of this guy for 5 years, if ever. I love to see this. You can see all of the horizontal growth that we're getting on him. So if we ever do actually get avocados off of it, you don't see any fruit from anything that grows straight up. Cut down your fruiting trees, cut down any grapevines or let them grow lengthwise instead of growing up. One, because it's hard for you guys to get up there. It's a little bit more dangerous to harvest any fruit that's out of reach. Two, there's no fruit growing on the trunk that's in the middle and a few of the branches that are in the middle anyway. So it's just kind of wasted space and it's a lot more leaves for you guys to clean up in the fall. So let's just forget about all of that. We haven't seen any fruit off this guy. He's only 2 years old. You can see that we're still getting some great new fresh growth on him for this summer. He went a little bit dormant over the wintertime, which we'd love to see. One of my favorite things about this avocado though is how big these leaves get. We had one that was on him when he was first really little and it was bigger than my hand both ways. It was really cool to see. I hope you guys have learned something today about avocados and hot peppers and you guys are a little bit inspired for when you guys have to start your garden. And I would love to hear in the comments section down below what kind of plants you guys are sprouting to have in your garden this year. I have to say I am so unbelievably happy about how our first couple of videos have gone. You guys are so amazing and we really appreciate everything that you do for us. You guys tuning in is just makes my heart sing, and having all those comments to respond to, I love it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you back here on the homestead for next time. Bye. That's my cat. I put my tripod on top of her cat house to get the right angle. She's reclaimed it.